Welcome everybody to the Miami Marlins franchise, a special live edition of the series. We are here in Season 2, and I wanted to start incorporating some streams into the series to get some more games played, and these are just fun to do. You know, a couple of years ago in the A's franchise, I was doing some streaming that let us get more games in, play with the prospects, and I love interacting here in the live streams too, so it'll be nice to start doing this more often, and we'll see, how often this shows up. But if you guys like the streams, just let me know, and they can continue. But yeah, I wanted to play more of like the early season stuff today, rather than just start simulating right off the bat. I'd like to play more and see kind of what that first week looks like as it unfolds. So we'll do some player lock, and then I really wanted to get some games in with these two pitchers I want to talk about, Ryan Weathers and Max Meyer. Two guys that I think are more so kind of borderline, will they stick in the rotation long term? Will they not? We have really good pitchers down at AAA developing, so they've got to be able to hold them off. What's going on, everybody? Big baseball day here this Sunday. How's everyone doing? And Mark becoming a member on the channel. I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you for that support. So yeah, I don't want to waste too much time. I went through opening day in the last episode. And if you're not really familiar with how I do my streams here, I will be bringing any of the important action from this stream into the next episode of the series. So if you're not a fan of streams, you're not going to miss out entirely. And if you can only catch part of it, you can see what you missed either watching the stream as a part of the playlist. It will be in there. Or I'll have the highlights from it in the next episode. We're going to get started here with player lock. Who do we want right away? We're going to get this started. And we're going to go. I want someone in the field here, so not Lamont Wade right now. Give me Jonah Bride. That's our MVP right now. He's our best offensive player. Padres Cubs first inning has taken 40 minutes and counting. What's going on over there? I was listening to the Twins Astros game a little bit. I got it on game day now on my phone, so I can kind of keep up with things. Have we considered drafting a relief pitcher with a #1 pick? Yeah, we have given that, I think, sufficient thought. Like the perfect amount of thought into that idea. Yuri Perez gave us a really good opening day start. Of course, it was cut short due to a little bit of an injury scare that didn't appear to be serious. But he went 4 1/3, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, and that was 67 pitches. Imagine that never happens, man, and we can see him go as long as he could actually handle. He had a no-hitter going. 7 walks in 2 40-pitch innings. So that's a really good start for Kyle Hart, the South Korea Cy Young equivalent winner of last season. How long do I plan on streaming? 2 to 3 hours is kind of the norm. That is super slow on the circle change. Not really targeting a certain amount of time necessarily, as that one's going to get sent out pretty well into right, but be tracked down. I'm still not used to like this first person and like the little changes here in player lock. Kind of feels a little disorienting at times. Just bought my first house. Congratulations to you, Dalton. Nothing better to listen to while painting. Yes, you can literally listen to me as the paint dries. And you can tell me which one is, which side of that equation is more entertaining. Kane, which Madden rebuild series should I watch? It should definitely be my Jags, my newest one, if you haven't checked it out. It's not just because it's the newest, but it's my best one, I think, in years. Yeah, I saw Glasnow was getting into trouble, and the trainers had come out. I wasn't sure why, if it was like a pitching rubber related thing, because it is like downpouring there in Philadelphia right now. and it seemed like maybe the conditions were affecting him. I wasn't sure if there was like an injury concern at all, but those look like pretty miserable baseball conditions. Really good call there by the umpire. You can't deny that one was low. And we are going to be on for Connor Norby. Martinez, the 0-2, and line through. We'll take that, a base knock. Yeah, I never saw what our win total was. They kept repeating a lot of the same information, and it didn't really give me much to work with. So, unfortunately, I have no idea what they project us to do this year record-wise. Let's see here. Does it look better there? Kind of centered there. That's going to be a single dumped into left, and we have the bases loaded now in the fourth. Let's break this thing open. What camera angle is this? Well, I'm just base running right now. I'm not sure. When I'm base running, I don't know that it's really in my control. I'm just player locked. That's the thing right now. All right, Otto Lopez has good hitting clutch, by the way. 2-2, and I'm not running. That has tricked me so many times. Like the first 2-3 times, I'm like, I have to run. That's why they're warning me. Not at all how it works. 3-2 on Lopez, and grounded. This could be 2. It is. Marlins come up empty. Just started my Rockies MLB The Show franchise. Your Rockies franchise is my favorite of all time. That was a great one. You know, I had a lot of fun with that series, but could not get past the final boss, Dodgers, at any point. I built one heck of a team, man, and it's just the Dodgers are the Dodgers. We are still scoreless here. Wow. Jonah Bride, 1 on, 1 down, and swung through a fastball. That's going to be a nice ground ball double play here in the 6th. No offense going on here at Globe Life Field. Only 5 combined hits. We have 4 of them. An error. And now suddenly 2 on, and Sandy's got to face Adolis Garcia. 1 gone in the inning. And it's sharply hit into right, and they'll wave home the runner. Throw home, Bride, not in time. Okay, that's the first time I've really been in that situation before, but the run scores for Texas. We do get the out at second base. And I might be looking at one more at bat today. All right, top of the 9th. This is it. Against Robert Garcia, the lefty.
That's a strike. No, that's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I've noticed that the team win projections graphic only really focuses on teams that are projected to increase or decrease by 10 or so. That is usually what I see when they're showing those off. That does kind of check out. I thought they would at least show, like, projected records for everybody. Right into center. It's on a line, and it does drop. No, I'm not going to. We've got a long way to go here, though. We do get the tying run on for Connor Norby. Oh, 2. This one is going to hit the dirt.
1-2.
Oh, wow. I'm getting the latest break ever. I got to second, right? Not the cleanest way of getting there. All right, 1-2, lined, and we're gonna, nope. That's a Dolis. I'm not doing it. All right, runners at the corners. Jesus Sanchez. I haven't screwed it up quite yet on the base paths. Called strike 3, and that brings up Otto Lopez representing the last out. Or can he be the hero against Taylor Rogers? A new pitcher is in for the Rangers. Grounded right to second base, and that's going to do it on the second day of the year. Marlins lose 1-0. Hey, Kane, been here since the Twins franchise. Really got me into the show. Good luck on the Marlins. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, the Twins was my first big MLB franchise, and now that was quite a long time ago. And I did that game back when MLB The Show still had year-to-year saves. So I played that game, that franchise, for 2 MLB cycles in a row. I've done a few series now where I've done it for 2 years straight. All right, so now the deciding game of the series here against Texas. I'm going to do a couple player locks, then we're going to play some full games later. We're going to do scouting after this. Our first look at scouting is going to be interesting because we have the #1 pick. Give me... I want Connor Norby this time, I think. Did I put the Rays back in the Trop? I haven't. I'll make that change here after this game. I forgot about that. Hey, Tavon, I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good weekend, too. I am having a good weekend, although it's cold outside, man. The high is like 59 today. I'm not really into it, hence the long sleeves. I have game day on, Remy. I know he's not hitting a grand slam. The A's offered me Lawrence Butler for Mitch Keller, so I was tempted to. Yeah, Butler's really good in this game. He's set up to have a lot more success than he did a couple years ago. Because I identified him as like one of the better AAA players, but he had like C potential. And like you can make it as a C potential guy, but he was struggling to even hit, you know. You didn't hit well enough to stay at the bigs is all. So unfortunately, I never got to develop him. All right, runner on here in the first. Ah, a little late. He's right down the middle. Trying to start the season here with a winning series.
No, that's up.
Can I get your thoughts on what the Braves are having issues with so far this season? The bat on the ball has been the biggest problem. That offense just underperforming doesn't really even explain it. I don't know if anybody on that offense is meeting expectations. Norby lifts this one high to left, but that's going to be in the park. You know, the Braves Marlins game is getting rained out today, so they get to avoid the fish handing them another loss today. 2 on, 2 down. We have a little bit of a scoring drought going on here.
That's the ball.
How do I feel about the Padres being real contenders? Like, I've bought into their build the last couple of years. I do kind of view this season as like, if it doesn't happen, then you got to start thinking about blowing this roster up. Just because of how old a lot of those pieces are, and if you can't get it to work like 3-4 years into it, I have to kind of see the writing on the wall there. Like, I like that team a lot. but I have a hard time trusting him for a full season. Chop to short. And that's the inning. Have I decided what I'll do with the starting pitcher to relief pitcher? Ooh, that's a home run for Kyle Higashioka. Not good news for us. I have an idea. You divide the starting pitcher's stamina by 2 and take whatever the total is, divide that by 10, and add that to their per 9s. I'm not going to do like a complex rating readjustment. I know that guys' games can change when they go from the starting spot to the bullpen. I don't really want to just create something out of thin air there. I was just looking at the stamina adjustment so that you don't have just a bunch of starting pitchers that can pitch like day after day or 3 innings at a time. Norby down the line, and that's going to be a fair ball. I want 2, and I'm getting 2. Trying to come back. It's a 1-out double. Uh-oh. Jonah Bride fell to the ground clutching at a knee. The trainer thinks it could have been much worse, but it's likely just a severe sprain. If our trainer's wrong, he's out of here. But our backup catcher is going to pinch run. Questionable decision on that. Hey, Jab, new member on the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a member of the first round picks. Ground ball right side. A run scores. We need more. What does Soto have to do to make the contract worth it in year 1? I would think like NLCS appearance. That's going to go. What? It showed me it was going to bounce through him. I don't know. That thing is so misleading. We still need 2 runs late. Norby against Taylor Rogers. Two down for Norby, and now 2 strikes.
That's a ball.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to take a while to get used to that blocked pitch thing. Norby, deep drive left field. That ball is foul. Crushed that thing, man. A sweeper dead center. Greetings from Iceland. Wow, Iceland. I love it. How much baseball they play there?
2-2.
Up and in. I can't believe he's still just throwing sweepers in like this to a lefty. He's thrown 5 in this at-bat. He hasn't thrown the cutter up and in yet. That's what I would do here. Lined out to third base on yet another sweeper. Good contact, but not a lot to show for our effort here in games 2 and 3 as we combine for 1 run, lose games 2 and 3, and drop the opening series of the season. How do I manage my bullpen usage? I had Carl Edwards as a middle reliever make 116 appearances. I had a full 8-man pen with 4 middle relievers. I'm trying to see how it plays this year. It does seem to be a lot more balanced. So if you're playing 25 and you have a guy making 116 appearances, that's extremely excessive. Like, every couple weeks, I would look at kind of where the innings are going and move guys around as they might be playing too much. Okay, so Jonah Bride, he's going to be out 1 to 2 weeks. That's going to be a 10-day injured list stint to allow us to bring somebody up. Okay, so not super serious, but going to miss a little time. So my bullpen is set up like this. I have a couple guys in the long relief, and I'm still trying to get to see how it kind of plays this year. But it seemed way more balanced last year when I was going through year one. Like, even the second setup guy is getting used now, so things are clearly a little bit different. Closer really doesn't get used unless it's a true closing situation. They kind of get ignored after a while. Normal sliders, Hall of Fame. Yeah, I've only tweaked... what did I tweak again? Starter stamina. That was it. And then, like, injury and errors. Which, that first game, it felt like it was a lot, and then it clearly wasn't too bad. I'm going to drop this trade frequency slider. But, yeah, as far as that bullpen usage goes, I guess I don't have a guide on it yet. Or a great feel for it. But with the injured list situation now on Jonah Bride, we got to see... Well, we can play Wade at first, which means we could kind of call up whoever we want then. So let's move Lamont Wade to the everyday first baseman. Down at AAA then. I mean, they've played one game, so there isn't a lot to go off of. So what does our bench have? We have true outfielder. I keep Dane Myers here mainly for that third base flexibility. And then Graham Pauley on the infield. Are we thinking here maybe Kyle Stowers perhaps? Bride is a trade piece of a long-term building block. I mean, he's probably more likely a trade option at some point. But I don't think we have to rush into it or anything. Right now, he's like our best player, and we're going to, you know, stick with him. Yeah, De Los Santos, like, would be the easy, like, first baseman to bring up. But I don't think that coming off the bench, he really offers much beyond just playing first base there. Stowers, though, he can play first. And he's our guy. We're going to call up Kyle Stowers. I know he's a 57 overall. But until he starts to play like one, I'm going to continue to give him chances. So, Stowers to the bigs. And then I'll bump... What I've been doing here when there are injuries is I'm just going to, like, take a guy from A-ball and put him on the bench of wherever that player was called up from. So I'm not calling up a guy from Double-A and then moving a guy from Single-A to Double-A. It just gets things way too disorganized and messy. So that's what I prefer to do in this spot. But yeah, I think in the meantime then I'll have Norby hit there, the DH. You know, Stowers, not great in the field. Let's give Stowers and Conine a chance then. I'll give Stowers the first crack at starting here as a DH. I'll bump him down in the order a little bit. So yeah, we're going to get to a full game here soon, but don't we get scouting available here, or is it the next Sunday? I thought we'd get it on the first Sunday of the year. Interesting. Cheers from British Columbia. Cheers. Appreciate that, Spencer. Iceland and Canada representing here in the chat. Tropicana. Thank you, TB. And the fridge. What's up, Kane? What are your expectations for J.J. McCarthy heading into next season? How do you think he fares against the quarterbacks in the North? You know, I think expectations are going to be pretty high if the Vikings like choose him based on their knowledge versus bringing in like an Aaron Rodgers or keeping around Sam Darnold. Like, I think you need to have high expectations just given what the Vikings have like done. What do I like personally expect? I'm really curious, like, what the training wheels look like early on for him. Like, how easy do they try to make his job? It feels like they do want to run the ball maybe a little bit more this year. Maybe that's why they're motivated more so to get, like, Jordan Mason in there to have, like, another starting running back on the team. Statistically, I would be, I still expect the offense to try to put up a lot of numbers. So I would be looking at, like, 25 touchdowns, and try to keep the interceptions, like to a 2-to-1 ratio, like 25 touchdowns, 12 picks, I think would look like a successful year, around 4,000 yards. And then you still got to make sure that you're getting like, big games out of Justin Jefferson. I'd be really curious what the receiver production looks like here first year with JJ. All right. So is scouting just not available till the next week? Am I just a little bit early on that? Because we got a game now against the Atlanta Braves. Chris Sale, Ryan Weathers, two lefties. Play some baseball, everybody. Twins are still up, IRL 4-1. That's right, we got Stowers getting the start. Will the legend continue to grow today? How are you liking franchise compared to last year? I am liking the changes to free agency, especially. Seeing arbitration salaries be higher, contract demands across the board be higher. Like, for me, that stuff's big because that like has so many long-term ripple effects in your franchise from how teams are going to be constructed, your challenges with signing players and keeping a team together. Like, think about in the past how easy it was to just go and sign the best name available if you have the budget. Now, it's actually much more challenging. If you're a franchise player, I would much rather be wanting to play 25 than 24 for those changes. Wow, Christian Campbell just made his debut here in this series. That's kind of surprising. It's not the biggest thing ever, but I also love this like pregame deal here. If you're going through your franchise and you don't want to just go check out every menu all the time, but you'd like to get these updates prior to playing your next game, I think that will help you stay more invested in the development of your team. As the White Sox, I was having guys go for much smaller and shorter deals, depressingly accurate. Like I tried to go after Willie Castro, who was a 77 overall, but when I began negotiating, he had like 19% motivation to sign with us. So having that motivation system is really nice. A lot of people don't seem to like the 3-player focusing. I don't mind that at all. Madden's had a similar system with up to 5. I don't really mind having just like to focus on a few players at a time because, like, realistically speaking, are you going to be signing like the top 5 free agents available in most cases? I think having to work this way is more enjoyable for me. All right then, Austin Riley, that's how we open. Xavier Edwards, projected to hit 303 this year. They're thinking 255 for Norby. But check out our other outfielders with Hill, Myers. They don't like Stowers. They're hating on Stowers. I sure hope Ramirez can also surpass the 224 expectation. Ooh, the Twins have scored. Byron Buxton doubled, scoring Matt Wallner. Love it. All right, Lamont Wade off to a slow start.
Ball one, no strikes.
And then, if you're talking about the game as a total package, too, I think the Road to the Show introductions this year make it more interesting. So, I mean, there's plenty for me to like compared to this year or 23. Just kind of down to if that's worth $70 to you. Lamont Wade strikes out on the slider. And now Connor Norby.
Counts 1-0.
Yeah, when we get to like the past season 1, I enjoy playing a bunch of like the first 10 games. Just to kind of set the stage for the season and develop those first storylines a little bit. That's popped up. Get out of play. So, the story right... Excuse me? How does that work? That's the most impressive thing I've seen the Braves do in 2025.
Off the plate, ball one.
I've never seen the ball magnetized like that. Ryan Weathers gets the mound today, and that's going to be sent out for Dane Myers in the gap. And the great Dane makes the catch. 15th in the NL in batting average, so you could say these Braves are pretty true to life. With Austin Riley, a 0.71. Jurickson Profar, 357. Interesting. What is he doing the rest of the team isn't to be that successful? Whatever could that be? I have no idea. Ronald Acuna Jr. Oh boy. Ronald Acuna deep and foul. 111 off the bat. That's enough of those. It's the last fastball you get, Ronald. Cold strike. Well, he went around. Strike 3 on a half-hearted swing, and Ryan Weathers puts up a nice 0 to get the day underway.
Leading off for the Marlins, center fielder Jarrett Hill.
He eats a balanced breakfast. That's why it's the most important meal. Yeah, he gets his protein. He's sure packing on that muscle. We know that. The Twins should be undefeated at home in real life because between 12-4, that backstop is the most disgusting thing I've ever witnessed. Whoever made that business decision should be fired. Oh, you don't like the shadows there in the afternoon? 2 pitches and going to be 2 outs here. I wonder if the orientation of the stadium was meant to, like, give the best view of the downtown skyline. Because, like, visually, it's all very nice. But, yeah, playing games at that hour and just trying to see those shadows is pretty impossible.
Ball, that's down. That's ball 3.
Top of the strike zone here is going to be really tough to read. Sanchez with a drive. Belted right center. That ball is run down. Are you kidding me? The amount of hard contact I've had already in this short stream with nothing to show for it. Yeah, I'm going to start closing the roof a lot when we play at home, because it's tough to play day games there with the roof open. Riley finds a lot of open field, and that is, you know, rolling slowly and perfectly, and he might be thinking 3. Holds up with a double. Do an Angels franchise next year? I'll probably be considering it. Last year, the Rendon money.
Ball. 2 balls, no strike.
I'm not sure I've liked a single Minnesota playing field in my 35 years. What's wrong with the bank? What's wrong with U.S. Bank? That one has some gnarly shadows, too, for noon games.
Got him.
The lighting, especially in Madden, feels like it's always dark in that stadium.
Batting fifth, second baseman, Albi.
Yep, that ball went out.
And what's wrong with the Metrodome outside of almost everything? Do you got beef with the Target Center? First slider of the day.
That's ball 2.
At Target Field's a great experience to just like go to the park.
8-2. Count full.
All right, 3-2 now. And the sinker, wow. Offered at it.
He's out.
We're going to get that out. And now Olsen moves up, or Riley, whoever it is. Orlando Arcia.
Ball.
Yeah, the Met is a little before my time because now it's the Mall of America parking lot. Sanchez. Oof. I didn't even touch the left stick on that play. I was just going to let him take over for us, and we get out of the inning. Yeah, the Metrodome was great for football. I mean,
Catcher, number 50.
not a great, like, it's not comfortable, not great amenities, terrible, like, scoreboard situation. It's just, it was fun to watch the Vikings in that loud stadium, and that's about it. That's a double for Augustine Ramirez as we jump on that first pitch slider. And now we're trying to get that first run. Hitting inside the park home run. I'll pinch hit Esteury Ruiz. Man, I struggle with that name so much, I might never get it. Esteury Ruiz. It's tough.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Kyle Stowers.
Ball 2.
I never had Caribou. I'm not a coffee person. So I don't think I've ever had Caribou coffee.
Ball, that's
But
out.
it is big up there. I only ever have coffee if, like, I had 3 or 4 hours of sleep and I just want some artificial enhancements. I want some performance-enhancing substances.
Batting ninth, left fielder.
I save it for that.
Ball one.
100% would eat real caribou. That's going to go down the line and allow us to score our first run of the game. 1-0 Miami. Dane Meyer's RBI single.
Xavier Edwards.
Xavier Edwards, 2 on, nobody out. A good third inning unfolding. Haven't even made Sale throw that many pitches. That's only number 24. It's just all been very swingable stuff. But 0-2.
Ball.
Don't think
Empty
so.
bag.
Twins have 7? Sweet. He's getting a little careless with that changeup. A lot of speed aboard here for Xavier. Good slider that time. I was kind of looking for something on the outer part of the plate because I wanted something to advance the runners, but also a good 2-strike pitch. Late night Lamont Wade. Maybe he's waiting for our first night game to really turn it
Ball
on.
one, no strike.
Hitting a 0.83.
Two balls, no strikes.
What is Sales overall at this point? I'm estimating 82. 80. You know, pretty decent across the board, but nothing all that high, nothing all that low. Starting to make him throw a few more. Ah.
Two balls, two strikes.
I've had a couple bad left-on-left sliders. 3-2. Already 1 walk in the inning. Marlins record, at this stage, we're just 1-2 on the year. Ooh, did not have a good reaction there. That's that high plate vision saving me. The sliders get him away. Any chance you might play a game against the Nationals? Depends what the schedule looks like. They're a division rival, so certainly at some point I want to kind of show. They're an interesting team to talk about alongside us because we're both kind of rebuilding teams. And they have more pieces at the bigs that can take them away from being a rebuilding team.
One ball, one strike.
What year are we in? Year 2. No torpedo bats. Looking at the bat right now with the lights there, it just looks like it's rendering oddly.
That's a ball. Two balls, one strike. Foul ball.
2-2.
Count is 3-2.
Another slow slider, and now the runners can leave early. Inside.
Take your base.
Loaded up. 26 pitches, 13-13 for Sale, and now Derek Hill.
Derek Hill.
He's our cleanup man. He's who you want here, right? Not quite. That was late, though. He hasn't thrown a changeup in ages. See, I'm really good at the game. That's why I just got that trophy now. End an inning with the bases loaded, no runs scored. I did score before the bases were loaded, to be fair.
75.
Ball.
I watch anything good recently? Yeah. Actually, I have. I watched the first 2 seasons of Squid Game. In Korean. I've never watched something in Korean, or really anything that requires me to read subtitles the entire way. But it was surprisingly easy to get into it there. Just because the show is really good. You kind of forget you're reading after a while.
2-2. Down.
Got him on a sweeper. Drake Baldwin goes down.
Batting ninth, designated hitter.
Speaking of subtitles, what's your progress on One Piece? Like 50-something episodes of the anime and the entire Netflix adaptation.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Only like 20,000 more episodes to go. Exactly. I'm getting there. Ah! Just drops for Daz Cameron. Parasite. I'll have to check that one out.
Ball, that's in.
First time seeing you stream. Well, I hope you enjoy the show. We're here playing our first full game of the day. I wanted to play a couple of these
I got a ball.
and just have some fun here in the series. Get some clips I can share in the next episode.
That's ball.
Oh, come on, ump. You don't feel that ABS breathing down your neck? Lock in
Ball 3.
and make the call. Any chance at a Greaves sighting? It depends when the AA season opens. They start a little bit later than the majors in AAA is all. I don't have the umpire setting to perfect, no. I'm just gonna complain when they're wrong and leave the settings where they are. You can get mad all you want. That was strike 4. Yikes. Oh my goodness, he missed again. I ain't talking about Weathers. It goes to the backstop, and it's the pitcher who's going to play it. Interesting. Two and two, and lined. It's going to be Sanchez coming on, firing home, and a run scores. A missed strike 3 call, followed by a wild pitch and a base hit. I don't really keep up with college sports much. You know, a little bit of football. I like watching football, but don't dedicate a ton of time to it. Don't watch college basketball or anything else. 0-2 and left over the plate. All right. Oh, we're already in year 2. I'm not really worried about matching Profar's suspension or anything at this stage. It was just to get us a starting point that made sense with, like, the Perez injury or Garrett Cole's season ender.
Ball 1. Ball 2. 2-0.
All right, top of the 4th.
Ball in.
Chris Sale can't buy a strike.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to swing 3-0 with Otto Lopez very often.
No, that's a ball.
This guy's strike zone is all over the place. It might be a triangle.
Right fielder, Jesus Sanchez.
I want the umpire to outline what his strike zone is right now.
That's a ball. Count
Do I
1-0.
plan to fix some IRL prospect potential ratings? No. I'm okay with whatever they have in the game. You know, we're kind of going off on our own journey here in these series. I'm not worried about all that.
2-0.
Making manual adjustments on stuff like that. You know, if I can get some information on a guy like his pitch mix is wrong. Sanchez, deep right field, and that is off the wall. On his way to second. Second and third, nobody down. He has hit the ball hard. You know, if I come across a guy and it's like, okay, his pitches seem incorrect, and I can get some actual data to tell me what they should be, then it's a different story. If it's just like an opinion held that a guy is too low rated, that I care less about. What I do with Cole, I gave him elbow surgery for 270 some days. So the Yankees then would put him on the injured list. Knocked down. Only one will score here, but we're back in front on the Ramirez single. Infield hit. And now Kyle Stowers.
Ball.
He's back, everybody. Is there a pitch clock? Yes. I just choose to not have it on. Because I'm not, you know, it's there in real life for pace of play. In the game, that's not really a concern. All it's going to do is screw me up and not really benefit the series in any way. If I want to sit here and talk about something before a pitch for a little more time than I should, then I feel like I don't care to be penalized about that. Fly ball left, and that might be enough to tag. On his way home and scoring, it's 3-1. How do you do that exactly, the Cole surgery? So when you're at your franchise menu and you can go into your settings, under the general tab, there'll be a toggle for injuries. It'll probably say on. That is not an on-off switch. It has 3 options, on, off, and manual. If you change it to manual and then go to your injured list, you are then able to create new injuries. But make sure you move that setting off of manual when you start playing games, or it won't create new ones naturally. Manual will make it like a manual-only injury setting.
0-1.
Kind of mad about that one right there. What's good, Kane? We're up 3-1. That's what's good right now. How you doing? On the ground ball, it is out at second. Hand over a 2-run lead now, as in real life, the Twins just gave up a few. I knew Paddock would give up a couple eventually. Yep, 3 charge to him. Meanwhile, we got Ryan Weathers here, off to a good start against a struggling Braves offense.
0-1's the count.
It was Sands. I'm seeing 3 charge to Paddock. Yeah, Paddock, 4 runs, 3 earned, and Sands has a full inning of clean pitching, it looks like.
Ball 2.
Laid off. Braves trying to get that leadoff man on. The Giants are cooking indeed. Strike, no high. Reaching back for 97 there, Ryan. Now Olsen.
That's a ball.
Expectations of the Twins, probably to hover around 500, and it's just a matter of if they can develop enough hot streaks to make it into the playoffs.
2 balls, 1
I do like the opportunities some of these young guys should have, and I'm expecting guys like Luke Keeschel to come up, Emmanuel Rodriguez, but I still think this offense is going to overall underperform.
2. I got 3 and 2.
3 and 2. Wow, that's a good pitch. Up the middle, Olsen singles. Some trouble here for Ryan Weathers. I'm trying to start a YouTube based on realistic franchise series, and I'm not sure how to start. You know, you'd like to have all the answers before you get started, but honestly, you're going to learn so much more by just doing it, learning what you don't like, what you do, and then iterating constantly. I think in general these days, we have a society full of people who feel like they need to be an expert at something before they ever try it in the first place.
Ball, that's outside.
When experience is often a better teacher than me or a book or something. Depends what you're doing. Maybe you should study up on surgery before performing some of that. But if you're just going to make YouTube videos, do your best. Norby knocks it down. And then he's going to fire it, but then Wade has trouble with it. So that's going to be an error charge to Connor Norby, loading the bases for Drake Baldwin. Best tip is to make sure your audio is good. Really, yeah. Like, you need to have a level of quality where people aren't turning off in the first 3 seconds because, like, your audio is super bad or something. And people are going to be more turned off by lower quality audio than video. All right, got him jammed there. 0-2. Ah. One and 2 and not offering.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got him that time on the slider. Baldwin down looking. I don't know how much more he can go, though. I'm liking the lefty today, so I'm going to have Harris be the next man in. Cameron Edwards. And on the money. Wow, I was nervous about that play. And I do got to be a little better about going the short route when I have the option to. Nice job. Favorite Packer? Of all time or current? I always respected Donald Driver's game. He was a really productive receiver for a long time, would go across the middle, he'd do everything for that team. He was kind of the heart and soul of that offense, honestly. I'm going to just take a quick break. I'm going to hit the insert ad button, but I'll be back here in just a moment. Y'all hold tight. right, let's continue, guys. Chris Sale in inning number 5. You just call him Chairmichael Finley. That goes hard, Toby. I love that. Chairmichael Finley.
Ball down.
Glad you guys got to enjoy your moments of peace with the chair. Lamont Wade cracks one, and I don't feel that his average is reflective of how hard he's hitting that baseball.
Now batting, third baseman, Connor Norby.
1-0.
And now we're playing at night. This is where it's really easy to see the ball. See you later, Chris.
He's out.
Pitch count still pretty good for Sale.
Ball inside.
Hey, Paul, I appreciate you becoming a channel member. Every month I do a channel member live stream where I talk about things going on here with the channels. It's kind of like a check-in every month to talk about plans with the channels, series, and they're nice to kind of mentally reset for me each month and kind of think about the next month's objectives. But I do that every month for the channel members as a perk for being a member.
We got full count.
You can check that out if you want by hitting the join button. It is $5 a month. Helps support me and being a full-time content creator.
Leading off for the Braves, center fielder,
Michael Harris now in the 5th, as this will probably be the last inning for Weathers. But I have felt pretty good using him throughout this game, despite having to pitch some of these guys a little more uncomfortably, especially the righties.
That's a ball.
What do I think the Giants should draft, considering they just got Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson? I think the dream is probably getting Travis Hunter and having a real offensive building block there in the passing game to work with.
Nope, that's a ball. Ball 1, no strike.
Come on, man. Shout out to the Jordan Starks Tulsa Drillers rivalry. That is a classic one. Tulsa fan.
He's safe.
That was a fun year on Road to the Show. That was back when the Padres were like really bad. That's the team he was on.
Ball 3.
All right, this might be closer to finishing than I realized. This outing is suddenly going completely off the rails. Yeah, it's going to be Ronnie getting, Hogan Harris going in. Couple wild pitches, 2 guys on, and I just don't think he's going to get us out of it. I felt good about his pitching, but he might be hit with a couple more earned runs.
number 36.
I'm thinking the Titans go Cam Ward. That kind of feels like we're in a done deal there. They're going to start over at quarterback, and I'm a Cam Ward guy myself, so that's where I think they're going to land.
Nope, inside, ball 2.
If you get that position right, things seem to fall into place most often. Happened with the Texans when they were in a rough, really bad spot before it looked like Stroud was, had saved them there. Second year not as good, but they were still a playoff team and won a playoff game. Norby! That's what we needed right there. Where does Levis go? I mean, anywhere. I don't think he's going to be high in demand. Wade. Can we get to... Wow! End of the inning. And Ryan Weathers is only going to have one earned run in this case. Lamont Wade. The sun sets and late night Lamont is at his best. Jordan Romano.
Number 68. Jordan Romano.
Nope. Ball 1.
0 for 10 career. It's time for that first hit. Maybe not. So I believe that we are now 3.5 games into the year, and the Marlins don't have a homer yet. You would either say that we are an awful home run hitting team or that we are due. Also, our best home run threat is on the injured list. Sanchez aboard again. Not a huge hockey fan, no. I have never really gotten into the sport that heavily. Yeah, Bride got hurt in one of our previous player lock games when we were on the base paths. He got hurt sliding for 10 days.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Little bruise. Under this one, Ramirez. Is it ever coming down? Yeah, I'm really curious if, where Abdul Carter lands. And then it seems like that top 3 is going to be Ward, Hunter, and Carter. Just depends on the order of things. And then I'm really curious, too, if the Orioles, do go Shedeur Sanders in the first round. I'm really curious what they end up doing there. Because now there's more public admitting that the Watson move was the wrong one. Feels like they're setting up kind of the next chapter. I do want to play Road to the Show again. I just have 3 series active right now and didn't want to start up something completely different that wouldn't have consistency to it. Right now, I'm kind of thinking about when do I wrap up Jags. And I think we're getting closer to that. Stowers, right center, it drops, and he's on the board in 2026. First and third. Kyle Stowers continues the rally. Hey, Kane, did you ever play Persona 3 Reload? I haven't yet. I held off because I was waiting to see... You know how they reprinted, Persona 4 into Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 into Persona 5 Royal... I was kind of holding out a little bit to see if they would drop a Reload edition with the DLC as a complete package. They like to do their editions like that. But it doesn't seem they're going to. So I have it now, but I haven't started it. Ooh, I wanted that to drop in the zone so bad. Yeah, I want to play Persona 3 really bad. Metaphor as well. And then I've only played base game Persona 5. I haven't even played Royal. I've beaten 5. But I know I don't have the whole package done yet. Diamond Dynasty, would I ever think of starting one of those? I mean, at this point, I haven't played those modes in a long time. And I kind of get what they try to do at this stage. And I'm just not really all that interested. These are modes that require a lot of time, in some cases a lot of money to stay up with cards and stuff, and it's just not really my thing. Up the middle and through! A base hit from Myers. Stowers makes it all the way to third. as he was off with the pitch, and it's 4-1. The Great Dane strikes again. How have my injury sliders been? I like where they are personally. I mean, these are the settings I have. Gameplay is up 2 notches. Simulator injury is up 1 notch.
Counts 1-0.
Metaphor's fantastic. Yeah, I hear so many good things about it. And I did play like 45 minutes or so of the like demo. And like I didn't want to play too much because I'm like, all right, just enough to let me know I want to play the real thing.
Aye.
1-2. And it's skied. Will it drop? It will! Are you kidding me? We're just going to keep going first to third. Bloop single Xavier Edwards. And now Lamont Wade Jr. I saw you reinstalled Fallout 4 in one of your older videos. What do you think of Bethesda games in general? I like the formula a lot. Especially with like Skyrim and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. I just like all the exploration and all the quests in the world, especially in the Fallout series. That's what I didn't like with Starfield as much, is it was just so much... There wasn't like a great continuous world to explore. It was a bunch of smaller worlds, and it just didn't have the same impact. You know, I like playing those games where you set a map marker at some point. Lamont Wade singles. That might have been over aggressive. Save! We keep replacing them. You know, the way you play those games is you set your map marker somewhere and you get distracted along the way, and then you have your own little experience play out that way. Yeah, I still haven't played New Vegas yet. I've had it for a long time, but I, you know, have a lot of games and only so much time to put into the stuff I don't make content on. 6-1. My favorite ballpark? I mean, I like Target Field a lot.
Nope. Outside.
I also like Fenway.
Ball 2. You got 2 balls.
I did like Starfield. It just didn't have that same, like, exploration draw. Like, I like Starfield probably more than most. It became very much a dogpile situation with that game. It became the trendy thing to kind of hate on. And, you know, it wasn't, I think, everything it was what the community wanted it to be. So I think it's legitimate to not like it. But I think that once people saw the doors open on bashing the game, they couldn't resist
All 1's the count.
a good dog pile.
No. Inside.
Pirates blew a 4-1 lead in the 9th, and Bednar's not even to blame. Who's closing then for them right now? They optioned Bednar because his first week was just dreadful. Soft chopper here by Matt Olson.
Out. 1-0. That's ball 2. 2 balls, no strike.
Yeah, the Pirates, man, that team is not putting it together. Not a very inspiring bunch right now. And they had Andrew Heaney today throw 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, and they let that down. 1 run. 7 innings, 1 run, 10 strikeouts, and you can't support that.
Now batting, shortstop.
Ryan Baruki. He's the one who gave up 3. I'd argue the Pirates do not have all the pieces. I think they're playing with an incomplete puzzle, and they like have these random pieces that don't even fit into it on the team. Like Tommy Pham being an everyday player is supposed to do something for me. He's hitting .071. Like Joey Bart. That's like your 4 or 5 hitter.
That's ball 2.
I don't think they have anywhere close to all the pieces. The pieces they do have are good. Cruz, Reynolds, and Skeens. Come on, Hogan. Three and 2, and Harris having some trouble getting through this inning. That's going to be, we're going 2. Oh, what a turn! That was sick! What a double play! On a chopper back to the pitcher. That was nasty.
Leading off for Miami, center fielder Jared Hill.
A couple big double plays have kept this game wider than it otherwise could have been.
0-1's the count.
One team that's also been worse than I thought they would be is the Brewers, although they won today 7-1. They had a rough first series. That Central's weird, though. Like, you could tell me at the end of the year anybody wins it, I'll believe you. Because there isn't a team that separates themselves there in the Central, ever. But, yeah, Cubs playing really well with Kyle Tucker every day. That contract seems to be getting higher and higher. Does it seem like the Cubs are going to be able to re-sign Tucker? Like, you don't make that move without feeling pretty good about signing a guy long-term, right? I'm stealing.
Ball, that's in.
He's in there. Derek Hill gets his first. That is a drive from Lopez, and that ball's going to be run down. We'll move up 90 feet on it. Who do I think wins the AL Central? I'm not taking my Twins, but I don't know who I would take. I'm mostly taking I don't think the Twins win it stance.
Yeah. 0-1's the count.
I'd probably take the Guardians, although I think that the Tigers' ceiling is higher, especially if they get contributions from some of these young guys that end up taking them a notch ahead. How about us manufacturing that little run there, guys? A single, stolen base, move them over, bring them in.
Ball 1. Ball 1. 1, no strikes. Hey!
How's that
1 strike.
Dodgers-Phillies game going? Oh, you got on top of that. We're looking for our first homer of the year. That's as good as a pitch as you can ask. 8-7. Dude, Christopher Sanchez was dealing early in that start. I caught the first couple innings of it. Ended up giving four runs up in 5 2/3, 9 strikeouts, but 2 homers hit off of him. Teoscar Hernandez, and he hit 2 of them. I have not been to Globe Life or Minute Maid. I don't live near either stadium. I've been to the Rangers AAA team before. Ooh, Dylan Coleman.
0-2.
Had a good appearance that first opening day outing.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Don't ruin it, Dylan. Lamont Wade, you got this one.
Got him.
Now batting.
Am I going to see the Minecraft movie? You know, I don't know if that's going to be high enough on the priorities. Otto Lopez.
Ball, that's out.
The Twins are winning, but that lead is shrinking, so I'm a little nervous, but I like the Twins bullpen a lot. I'm mostly worried about some of their starters, like the 4th and 5th inning for Chris Paddock worry me. Pablo Lopez and the home runs kind of worry me, but I like Pablo a lot.
2 strikes. Count full.
Three, 2. Ooh, that's a good pitch. Any plans to bring up Jacob Berry? Yeah, I think he's pretty high on the outfield pecking order there to get a shot. And Dylan Coleman, man, that's another good inning for him to open the season.
Leading off for Miami, the designated hitter, Kyle Stowers.
Kyle Stowers is up, guys. Pay attention. Hit our first home run in Season 1. We are still waiting for our first home run of Season 2. Who's going to hit that? Do I keep any spreadsheets to keep this series organized? I do have some stuff, yeah.
Nope.
I have a spreadsheet for tracking the players I draft, so I can see kind of where everybody was taken. Stowers the other way, base hit. I like to have that so I can also keep track of their starting overall compared to their current overall. It lets me know how much they're developing. And then I have like a notes page where I can keep track of just like information I might want for later. Like I'll put in our records each year. Helps me keep track of the seasons. And any other notes I think are relevant.
Hey, 2. 3.
Okay. The high sinker gets me. Really sneaks up on you. What, Jackson Churio hit 3 homers today? Are you kidding me? Edwards slices that one into left field. 3 homers for Jackson Churio. Trying to check something out. Sure enough. That is awesome. Knocked down at third. Can they get anybody out, though? No! An infield hit, Lamont Wade. I love your videos, bro. You give me endless content to watch as I open my store at 4 a.m. That's what I'm here for.
Hey.
4 a.m. That's an early day.
0-1's the count.
That's an early start. Hey, you're a real fan if you want to hear me yelling at these players at 4 in the morning. I'm really just trying to jump on some of these pitches, man. I badly want that first homer of the year, too.
Yep, that ball went out.
Not a bad little slider he has there. That wasn't my fault. I did everything I was supposed to do there, Derek.
Ball 2.
Chopper to short. And they end the inning. Been watching every video since the 0-16 Browns rebuild. I appreciate the content. Well, I appreciate you being here and enjoying it for so long.
For Miami. Number 43.
All 600 plus of you enjoying this here on a Sunday. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the stream, that would be helpful. Back when I was doing these streams a couple years ago, they were really good for bringing in some new viewers, some new eyes to the series. So I'm hoping that by doing these again, that we see the same thing play out.
Inside ball.
I had a long streaming drought on this channel that I ended earlier this year. I did some Jaguars streams that turned out to be a pretty big deal considering what it led to in that franchise. And I would like to start streaming more regularly in my MLB series.
That's a ball.
Be held back. Always a plus to get through some more games. I think to have more clips to show.
3-2.
I want to work fast in a lot of these franchises, especially early, but there's still like a happy medium to find. Because you still want to have some attachment to the players and to the story that's unfolding. No way! He made that throw and Acuna beat it out. Yeah, I can't take it with me. Does that mean Shaq gets credit for Chuck Johnson? At least partial credit, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Marlins are challenging the previous play.
I mean, I love the camera work, but he's safe. He's out! Never mind. Was I not seeing that right? I mean, Lopez throws that. He's more of the third baseman than the shortstop right there. That is a rocket. Is it in his glove right there? Oh. He was out. That is a good challenge for me. Wow. I missed the good angle. Yeah.
Ball 1.
They really knocked down Acuna's speed, though. What does Baseball Savant say his sprint speed percentile was last year, I wonder? Acuna Savant. I mean, Baseball Savant, one of the greatest baseball resources out there. And that's going to beat the shifted outfield and turn it into extra bases now for Austin Riley. One out double. His sprint speed last year was 60th percentile. It has gotten a lot more average. It was 60th percentile in 2024, 67th in 2023, 82nd in 2022. So there is 97 in 2021. He has like lost 20% of his speed like every year for the last 5 years. Are you happy with how the show is playing? Yeah, I am. A lot. No, I'm not. That's going to be a run. Yeah, injuries. Turns out injuries do matter. You know, they do actually affect a player's body. What are your thoughts on torpedo bats? I mean, they kind of look funny. But I feel like we are already seeing, like, you know, the bats were a huge talk when the Yankees wouldn't stop hitting home runs on the Brewers. But doesn't it feel like just regular baseball again this week? Crack to deep left center, and another run's going to score. I feel like maybe it works really well for certain players, but I don't think it's going to take over the sport. Confidence is in the tank for our guy, Andrew Nardi. Yeah, give me a little mound visit action here. Been on the FIFA grind lately after getting a little tired from CFB and NFL, and definitely been a refresher. Would love to see you try it. Yeah, I say this all the time that I want to play more games. Torpedo bat will reward good contact, but be more punishing for less than perfect. I don't know, like, the science really behind it yet. But it is interesting. I mean, bats have been mostly the same, I feel, for a long time. So if there was ever an edge that they just find after, you know, all this time, that would be interesting. But I feel it's going to be very situational and, like, you know, I think certain players are going to probably love using the new style bats, and some will either not like them or decide they don't want to change things. New roster update? I'm not sure how often they do it anymore. Soft pop. Myers. Struck him out, and that's the 8th inning. Anthony Bender cleans up in the 8th. Changing your bat middle of the season seems like a great way to bat sub 200. Yeah, I wonder if, like, if we see a big wave with these bats, if it won't be until next year when players can, you know, get practice without it actually affecting their performance. Or do we see guys who are slumping hard try the torpedo bat as a way to try and fix their game suddenly, like a last desperation thing? I like the sound of that question. Connor Norby leading the league in home runs. If I think about it, though, like, why would I want more wood at the end of the bat? I'm not going to be able to do anything with that part of the bat anyway. Free swinging right now, bad. Yeah, I know Muncy was experimenting with it and then ditched it. And he was a guy who wasn't swinging the bat that well, so that might be the use case. We'll give it to a guy who's struggling, see if it helps. And even if it doesn't help, maybe it resets him when he gets the regular bat back. I've seen like 200 sliders, and I'm just getting worse with time. I'm talking about just today.
Nope, that's inside.
Yeah, Jeffers does use a torpedo. He might be the only Twin doing it. Ramirez. That's a torpedo that's going to go foul. Another good sound. Now we suck at everything, it says. No torpedo bats in the show, and I would personally be surprised if they put them in. Especially if you want anything in the physics engine to change regarding them. Like, if you just want them to look like torpedo bats, I bet they could do that no problem.
2 balls, 1 strike.
But if you actually want them to function at all differently, like, don't count on it.
1 strike.
Until next year at the earliest. Yeah.
3 and 2.
Only 14 confirmed players use the torpedo. Like 7 Yankees. Because Judge isn't. Is Bellinger? Ah, sweeper. Should Rafael Devers get a torpedo bat? What do you guys think? How's Rafi doing right now? Boston's down in the 9th inning. That's where you want Devers to save you, right? He might hit this inning, too. Devers is 1 for 4. Average climbing, 176. I saw the other day, I think his on base was higher than his slugging. Devers homered? That is first of the year? He did homer today, yeah. Off of Andre Palante. Was it on one of those big breaking balls? Let's see if we can catch him fishing here. Doesn't have to. 1 out away from a division win. Well, it's not hard for that average to climb, right? Any hit, anything better than a 1 for 23 stretch probably raises his average. A's franchise legend Andre Palante, you got that right. Profar strike cell looking, and Miami wins the game. We get to 2-2 on the year. That was a pretty fun one. We actually had a lot of solid contact in this game, and some of our hits were on like weaker contact. It was kind of strange. We get 13 hits, but if you run back and look at like our swings, it didn't really match what landed and what didn't. Oh, Devers is up right now, bottom 9, down 1. Against Ryan Helsley, and I think the bases are loaded. I got the game day pulled up right now on my phone. Jesus Sanchez, Dane Myers, Kyle Stowers, Augustine Ramirez all have multi-hit games. Chris Sale goes 5, giving up 3, striking out 4. How many strikeouts did I have today? 9. I feel like a lot of those came late, though. I got a little careless toward the end. Yeah, 5 strikeouts there in the last 3 1/3. That's okay. We'll take the dub. Do I mess with my sliders to get the game to be fun offensively? No, I have never had to tweak those. I think my settings, separate from sliders, they create a lot of variety because it's based on player ratings. So there are times where I get really lucky, times where I get really unlucky, and it gives us a variety of different kinds of games. But otherwise, it stays Hall of Fame. I don't adjust contact or anything like that. Just play the game. All right. Next game is against the Bravos. Spencer Strider and Max Meyer. No homers, guys. Do we hit one in the first 5 games or not? We are the only team in baseball to not homer. Oh, 3-2 to Devers. I can't really live commentate a game I'm not watching, can I? That's kind of diabolical to try that. Helsley, 32 pitches into the outing. You know, that right shoulder has to be screaming for a reprieve. As Rafael Devers, the season's slumping star, has drawn a walk, and the game is tied. Helsley blows the save, and now Bregman up. Miami, no homers. Yeah, we're going to try to change that. Let's check the waiver wire, guys. Hogan Windish. Max Meyer takes the mound. Esteury Ruiz will play today. Let's go. What's going on, Midnight? Glad you could stop by. All right, 2-2 on the season. Let's keep it rolling. Anybody who is predicting the first home run of the year is just saying Stowers. Like, no one wants to guess anything else. Because nobody wants it to be anything else. So we're taking on Spencer Strider after a rough first start of the year. Let's see if we can carry that over. As we wear the 2003 throwbacks. The last year the Marlins won the World Series.
1-0.
How come we have, like, every Super Bowl is numbered, but every other championship goes by the year? Why can't we call it, like, World Series 152?
Ball 2. Ball 3.
Ball 3. Kyle Schwarber, 7 RBIs down below. That's pretty good.
3 balls. 2 strikes.
Helsley currently 37 pitches into his outing.
Take your base.
Ball 1. Ball 4.
Batting second, first baseman, Vermont Ray Jr.
I like the no numbers for World Series because most other sports use a multi-game
1 ball. No strikes.
series. I guess that would be weird. Like Game 4 of World Series 129. It does get a little messy. Wade chops it on to Albies. He'll be doubled up. They are going to extras in Boston, folks, where Victor Scott leads off. You want him on second base, not leading off. Astros now in a 2-run game with the Twins.
Yes.
Get it together, guys. Win this series, man. They got the big arms coming up, though. Should get Jackson Duran. Pumped a 96 right by me.
No, that's low.
Hammered down the line, and that one's foul.
No, that's high.
I flew across the country to see Strider. To see him give up a big home run to Connor Norby? Not right now. 97. All right, Max Meyer will make his 2025 debut. And he's got to take it up a level this year. First rounder from the University of Minnesota. Max Meyer. Ruiz first homer, someone random. I like your thought process. That's a high drive. Hampson, he's not a power guy. Over Conine. I mean, that thing couldn't have gone much further without leaving. Garrett Hampson with the double.
No ball. 1 strike.
Yeah, 2026 debut, that's true. Too far in.
1 strike. Two balls. 1 strike.
Yeah, the Giants are fun, man. They always seem to do a better job than people are expecting. I've not really caught much of their action, though. I've been watching a lot of Dodgers games at night.
No, foul ball. Take your
All right,
base.
Meyer's fastball's all over the place. We got to get that corrected. I just finished the latest Jags video.
Up. 0-1.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that series and a lot of good games. Couldn't get him at third base, so they advance on a strikeout. Now we try to minimize the damage, but here's Riley. I'm not getting my fastball right here. I know that. What would Judge's numbers look like if he did sign with San Francisco? Well, he would probably really like Coors Field. He could probably go opposite field into McCovey Cove a couple times. Oh, wow, that worked. He's out of here. Who's our catcher? It is Agustin Ramirez, one of the Marlins' top prospects. There we go. That was a good pitch inside. And now as we try to wrap this up, Olsen takes. Haven't been throwing many sliders at all. That's a good one, but just off. A long first inning, and it's going to continue. 22 pitches into it. 23, not enough. Ball 4. Loading the bases for Ozzie Albies. Can Meyer get out of trouble? Not with that kind of pitching. No, we're not working on your fastball right now. Dude, I need a mound visit bad. Come on, Max. Three and 0, and a run will score on the walk. Third walk of the inning. Dude, just throw a strike. Fine. You want to throw a fastball? Popped up. What a lucky break. 1-0. Kane, what would it take for you to do the gritty live on stream? A Vikings Super Bowl win.
Leading off for Miami, right fielder, Jesus Sanchez.
Deal. Nice pitch. Down and in to Sanchez. In the past, I've enjoyed playing against Strider. That's Sanchez with a high drive to left center field. Gets run down.
No ball. 1 strike.
Nice. Oh, he stopped it, and now a foot race, and Lopez out by a step. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, definitely do that now. And there is a playlist in the description with all the Miami Marlins franchise videos. There goes the bat. As we continue on here in the series, it'll fill up. But that'll keep it organized. Still no homers, right, in 2026. And that was a good pitch to hit. Base hit for Ramirez. Will we home run in 5 games? You know, it's not a lot to ask for. Just one.
1 ball, no strike.
How many have been hit against you so far? That's a good question because I can't remember the last home run.
1 ball, 2 strike.
Have we given up a home run this year? 1. Edward Cabrera gave one up. Don't think so. No, there is not a lot of power on this team. It seems like Jesus Sanchez is the only one demonstrating it right now.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
He's hit the ball extremely well. Griffin Conine. Strike 3 looking. Great pitch. And Jonah's hurt. Yep. All right, Max Meyer's second inning gets underway. It was a 31 pitch first. Yeah, Bride, we're missing him right now. But we did replace him with Stowers, and we know that he is the heart and soul of this franchise right now. Trying to get the confidence back on this fastball for Max.
1 and 2.
Got him on a slider. What are you guys playing these days? What games you guys enjoying right now? I always like to see what games you guys are playing, and for those playing games that I have not gotten around to. Nice. What's my goal for this Marlins team? Mostly like player development this year. I want to lose less than 100 games, and I want to feel like our youth is getting even better. Playing Oblivion. Wow. That's got to be close to 20 years old. Already back to Hampton. Grinding College Hoops 2K8. Yeah, we just got... not through March Madness, but through March. It's a good seasonal game. Oh, boy. Nice flip by Meyer. That is not an easy play. That's a tough spot to field a bunt against that kind of speed. Monopoly. Did not expect to see Monopoly dropped. Daz Cameron. Wade. Meyer covers. Much better inning. A lot of Marvel rivals. Yeah, you and many others. Ghost of Tsushima. That game is incredible. I can't wait to see the next one come out this year. Been grinding the Xbox 360 Uno. I highly doubt that, Remy, but that was fire back in the day. Those who know, know. What difficulty I play on Hall of Fame? A couple of you guys playing Ghost of Tsushima. Great choice. WWE 2K25, Project Zomboid, Escape from Tarkov, The Show, Baldur's Gate, Foundation.
1 and 1.
AC Shadows, Middle Earth games, the new Ghosts coming out, I'm getting that. Up and away. What is Farkle? Working through the Yakuza series. Man, I'm having a hard time on this high 90s fastball.
Okay.
3-2 to Kyle Stowers. Stowers drives deep to right field, on the track, and caught. Oh, I wanted it. Farkle is like Yahtzee, but not. You trading Sandy this year? It will be considered. You know, I want to see where his ratings go, but also, if we need spots for pitchers that I think are ready, that can also accelerate the timetable of trading him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Royal Match on my phone, Monster Hunter Wilds. That's not leaving.
Now batting, second baseman, Xavier Edwards.
First game to pop up on my Steam app recommended is Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, for good reason. It's a phenomenal game. To me, it was Sony just saying, like, hey, we're going to make an Assassin's Creed style feeling game, and we're going to make the best one. And they did it.
2. That's a ball.
I've been playing some Balatro and Slay the Spire this week.
2 and 2.
I got my first run complete on Slay the Spire, so I was pretty stoked about that. Then I've been playing some Titanfall 2, because I've been hearing about how good that campaign is, and I can vouch for it. It's extremely good. The gameplay is top-notch. Edwards fly ball. And he's out. Would I ever consider making Balatro or Slay the Spire content? You know, I've thought about making a third channel just for like the occasional thing that I want to do when I want to make a video on something else.
1 ball, no strike.
I haven't made it, but I have considered it now for like 2-3 years.
Ball 2.
Especially as I pile up these games behind me. Wilyer Abreu walked him off. No, what a reach. They're playing a doubleheader today? Because they have a game at 6:10 Central.
Strike. 1.
I'd watch that channel. You should. Slay the Spire is such a fun game. Completing a run is so satisfying. Yeah, I finally completed the run when I realized I needed to start fighting elites more and stacking up my... Oh, God, it's thrown away by Norby. I needed to start fighting more elites and stacking up the permanent... or the items in the... What are those? Not rituals. What's the word? Why can't I think of the word? Relics. Yeah. Stacking up relics. I had like my entire row like filled up. I must have like 15, 20 relics. Because I got one early in my run that I actually completed where I would get 2 relics from every elite. And I got it really early, so I was able to stack that, and by the end of it, I had a really nice setup, and that's going to be trouble for Ruiz. Looks like 2 are going to score. And it's an RBI double, 3-0. Bonjour, Kane from Nova Scotia. Between night shifts, we'll watch the rest of the stream during the week. Go Cards. Appreciate that, Corey. It'll be available in the playlist for anything that you miss. Twins tie game in the 9th. It's not tied yet. Top 8. Oh, Duran's here in the 8th. Interesting.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Who's winning the World Series this year, do you think? I'm going to guess the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's Albies with a gap-splitting double. Max Meyer not having a good day. All right, so Meyer struggling in this start. That'll be something to get this conversation rolling then here in Season 2 about the bottom of our rotation and if a spot opens up for, say, a Noble Meyer. We go with Ronnie Enriquez. It's going to be a very short outing and then a home run, Sean Murphy. It ain't going well, guys. They are hitting the ball hard today. I have thought about doing 2K again at some point, yes. It's just all about finding enough time to do a franchise and where it fits. It's hard to do like multiple series at a time, especially because like the time to do a lot of these videos has just gone up and up and up over the years. It used to be my second channel, like the stuff I would make over here, I could just, you know, knock stuff out in no time. But then, you know, it's hard to really do that in MLB, but still make meaningful progress. And like, what if I just have a terrible, I play like one game and it's like terrible. There's not a lot of good stuff to show. You know, for me to get the footage I need for baseball takes longer. And then my my football stuff has also run up more recently. Strike 3, and it's 6-0. You know, I think for me, if I'm going to get more variety at all, I was wondering about this today, but I wonder if one of the only options I have, I mean, there are obviously multiple options. Like, I could drop the entire main channel and things get easier, but I'm not doing that. I still enjoy making my Dynasty content there a lot. Which, by the way, I didn't even tell y'all. You think this is the only piece of content I'm dropping today? Not so fast. After the stream, Bulls franchise. Bulls Dynasty, sorry. But I was thinking earlier today, like, one of the only options I might have to get through these series in proper time is to consider making stuff like MLB near daily. Smoked to second base.
He's out.
Now batting, third baseman, Connor Norby.
So, I mean, I have the Jaguars franchise going on for now. And we'll see how things go here in the short term. But it would be interesting to, you know, have this series going, the Buffalo series going. And to really let this series get a ton of videos during the summer. Now, would I do 7 days a week? I don't think that's really doable. Because I've been making more like 7 videos a week total. But I am trying to see if I can up it a little bit from there. Mainly to get more second channel stuff up. But I probably will be doing some experimenting to see, like, even if I did like a week, like a Marlins video every day, like how would the videos do? Sometimes I wonder if there can be too much and people fall behind and feel discouraged. I don't know if that's a thing for any of you. Sanchez just keeps hitting the ball, man. How long have I been streaming? About 2 hours, 13 minutes right now.
Now batting, shortstop Otto Lopez.
Sound delayed? Let me... I think I know the fix on that. Let me know if it's better now. I think if I were going to try to do any of this daily, that I would probably shorten the video length a little bit. On a 3-0. Ah, it doesn't drop. We are going to burn up the bullpen today. Y'all are going multiple innings.
No, that's a ball.
Chopper right side.
He's out.
Now batting, right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Guys, I have the Twins updates literally right in front of me, live. I don't trust y'all. Strike 3 on Acuna. Now Hernandez settling it down. Just had to get that home run out of the way. So we've played 5 games total, and in those games have only been 2 combined homers. Through 4. Augustine Ramirez.
1 ball, no strike.
What do you think is wrong with the Braves? I don't know. They're just not hitting. I don't know what the solution is there besides just kind of waiting and assuming it gets better because they have too much talent to keep hitting like this.
That's a ball.
Maybe they have to trade for like 4 more outfielders to figure it out. Bring back Jorge Soler and Jock Peterson. That's what they have to do.
Strike, woo. You're out.
One gone for Conine.
Ball.
I like the last game better. They were smoking the ball. Instead, we're giving Strider his bounce back outing today. Ooh.
1 and 2. Ball 2.
I love to do these streams and also bring in some minor league games. I would play full game minor league games here on stream if you guys were interested, along with some player lock games down there too. You know, sometimes you get a whole like AAA team where it's like, you know, 7 guys who might be big leaguers eventually for us, and it's like a full game works. Until then, I think player locks work a little better. We walk.
Now batting, designated
And the Marlins do have good uniforms. I like their current stuff and a lot of their older ones.
No, that's a ball.
What's going on, CV? Yeah, I could look to move Weathers to the bullpen again one day. But right now, I'm trying to find guys who can grab like a long-term rotation spot and gonna give him a chance. Caught. No homers yet for our Marlins in 4.5 games. If Este Ruiz hits one here,
No.
I'll make it a 24-hour stream. Can't be inside the park. That really wasn't that far off.
2 and 1.
Come on, Ruiz. Give the people what they want here. I know, Mike. That was not that far away, honestly.
Counts full.
Making him sweat a little bit here in the 5th. And a walk. Look at that. Getting more patient here as the game goes on.
second baseman, Xavier Edwards.
2 on for Xavier Edwards.
Strike 1.
Who will I hit a home run with first, Ruiz or Edwards?
Hey.
Rough start to the AB. Neither. That is harsh. '90th pitch for Strider. That's going to be dropped in shallow left. And we're going to score a run. We're on the board.
Now batting, first baseman, Lamont.
Midnight says Ruiz. Zerlak says Edwards. This contact is too good. It's going to luck together eventually. Lamont Wade. A fastball velo's down. He's out of energy. Ooh, good time for a changeup. I've been really thinking about that fastball a lot. Hit the other way. It's going to be fair and into the corner. Lamont Wade will hold up at first to play it safe. And a run scores. Chipping away. And Strider is not going to make it out of the inning. He is going to exit Aaron Bummer.
Number 49.
Will face Connor Norby. All right, let's flip this game on its head. Norby skies a sweeper to center. It'll stay in the park, though, as everything has this season. Yeah, Griffin Jax is on for the save attempt now in Minnesota, so I don't know if that's going to be like a big role reversal there. Paredes just singled, though, and that brings up Jordan, so it could be a tie game here before too long. Jordan owns the Twins. It's like an Aaron Rodgers-Bears situation. Now, that was the pitch to do it. I mean, a hanging sweeper, left on right. You don't take that pitch. Nice change.
1 and 2.
In play, no out. It didn't say in play runs. I'm watching it now. Christian Walker doubles. It's a tie game. Jordan did homer. Great.
Ball 2.
Strike 3, top of the zone.
Now back, second baseman, Ozzie Albies.
Trying to see how far Ronnie can take us here. Good pitch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nope, ball 2.
It's not an extras. Not yet.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nope, ball 4.
Now batting, catcher, Sean
All right, let's move on to Noco, and I'll probably use Coleman in this game as well.
pitching for Miami. Number
In a 1-inning capacity.
Jesus Sunoco.
Let's get Seth Martinez up. Ooh,
0-2.
that was nice. Pretty good contact on that one. Ruiz, he gets to it. MLB Game Day is delayed. I mean, I have the ESPN app too.
Designated hitter, Orlando Arcia.
Ball. Hey. balls, 1 strike.
Tinoco has the fastball get away, and it's inside.
Now batting, left fielder,
Trying to take off and get the extra base, and safe all the way across. 2 in scoring position now for the Braves. Come on, Tinoco. Got him fishing. Nicely done. Jesus Sanchez now with a left on left at bat. Yeah, bring Romano back out. Sometimes those off-speed pitches just look strange. Nice pitch. Lopez retired. 2 down here in the 6th. We play a 4-game against the Royals coming up. Yeah, I mean, the Twins have played well against the Royals really my entire time watching them. Playing against Kansas City tends to get them on track, but KC's, you know, better. Ramirez. I was a little bit late on it, but that ball's going to fly. And there is the first home run of 2026. It takes 5 games, but Agustin Ramirez has done it. And the wait is over. My camera angle? So it's a custom version of Fisheye 2. If you were to try to recreate it, I mean, this is the result you're looking for. But to recreate it, I usually drop it down a little bit and I alter the angle. And then with the zoom, you know, I kind of like lining up the back of the batter's box a little bit. I mean, that seems pretty good. All right. These controls are kind of goofy. But yeah, Fisheye 2, down on the right stick. Bring the zoom in a good bit. That's kind of roughly it right there. Conine in the air, and that's traveling to the gap, and it's down, bouncing into the stands. Okay, I don't know how it's possible that both ESPN and MLB could be behind on game day. That doesn't make any sense at all.
One ball, no strike.
They are apparently in the 10th inning. How are both of them behind a full inning?
One ball, one strike. That's the ball. Three balls, one strike.
Three and two on Stowers.
Two strike.
Go after that one. Low sinker is one of the toughest pitches for me to lay off of. But we do get a run closer. We're going to go fresh arm of Seth Martinez.
Now pitching for Miami. Number 62. Seth Martinez.
Still anybody's game now that we've gotten back in it. Dumped into right. Sanchez. He kind of seems like he gets a little bit out of position at times here in the field. He kind of scares me.
That's a ball. 1-1. Ball.
Hey, Kane, really like your videos. Currently going through your A's franchise back in 23. Enjoying that so far. Yeah, you got a lot of baseball content to catch up on then. The A's franchise was an awesome series. So enjoy that, and I appreciate the super chat. Nice. Sweeper gets Daz Cameron.
Now batting, right fielder, Ronald Acuna Jr.
No way. The one guy I shouldn't have thrown a high fastball to, I guess, is Ronald Acuna Jr. Not at his low velo. Yeah, his production was way under his stats. Corey's talking about Griffin Conine. Jesus, why'd you shift that badly? Yeah, he was far under what I expected of him a year ago. That makes this year even more important. Yeah, every experience is going to be different. It's not like a flaw in the game. Like baseball's a sport that's harder to predict. Edwards, I didn't know. A great play in the field, but then the throw.
Second baseman, Ozzie Albies.
I haven't given up on him, no. Taking off. Don't throw it. Oh, we got him. A little aggressive there. All right. Jordan Romano comes on. So you'd hope we could get that run back.
The Braves. Number 68. Jordan Romano.
No ball, one strike. strike.
Yeah, what happened to Jordan Romano? He was like a top-end closer not that long ago. Relievers, though, you can't trust them for long.
That's out the corner. Ball 3.
I got lucky there.
3 and 2.
It was clearly off the plate, Jordan. A chopper. That might be a single. Haha. The Ruiz special. And y'all already know what part 2 of that is. There he goes. He has stolen second base. Just got back from the Mets game and got to go to the home opener and the series finale against the Jays. Nice to finish a game in 2.5 hours, be home by 5:30. Are you enjoying your Mets so far, DJ South? I haven't watched a whole lot of them quite yet. I know I watched Winker's triple last night. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, it was a big hit. It tied the game. But, like, that stadium was going absolutely ballistic. It looked like Game 7 of the World Series. But it's like Mets fans, first time seeing 2 runs score on a hit. Did Tukey Toussaint end up working out for you? Not really, no. He's a hard guy to get developed with his walk rate. Yeah, 2 triples last night. Who would have thought Jesse Winker would be the source of that team's offense right now? A base hit would score Ruiz. Norby with a drive deep to left center. That ball's gone. It's a 2-run game. Ruiz can score on a single and he can score on a home run as well, no problem. Number 1 for Connor Norby and our second to the game. I'm probably going to wrap up streaming after this game. It'll be about 3 hours at that point and I'm getting hungry. I knew I'd get a run off Romano. I was not leaving this inning without a run off of him. See you later. The Twins lose yet? Because game day is not giving me a good play-by-play. I hit... Yeah, that's not even updated. Why is it so behind? That is the most bizarre thing. I've never seen it be consistently behind.
0-1.
Just did. Great. I literally thought y'all were just trying to troll me because I'm sitting here with game day and, like, you know, the game's moving along fine, and then how am I an inning or an inning and a half behind on 2 apps? I also keep like a Twins score widget on my home screen at all times during the season, and that's behind. It says it's 8-7, top of the 10th right now. Yeah, I'm excited about Norby as well. I think he's got a chance to be one of our top players in the franchise. Dylan Coleman now. I've had 2 appearances with him, and they've been really good. Uh-oh. Sending Ruiz on the track. Makes the catch. A 400-foot out. Oh, Soler homered tonight as well. I think he homered last night, right?
Ball 2.
A lot of long outs for sure. The ball's been flying in these two games. It was 1-6-0. But we battle back. It's now 7-5.
Ball 3. Count full. Take it back.
Too high for Coleman.
Nope, that's low.
Yeah, I'm always, I've been a fan of Soler's for a long time. I just love watching him go from city to city, mashing. It's surprising he hasn't, like, stuck somewhere for a while. I remember when he was with the Royals, and I was just so happy to see him leave. That's not a guy I like watching the Twins face.
That's the ball. Ball.
Yeah, Coleman's not
No strike.
super fresh for this game. Pitching on back-to-back days. Busted the bat. That's why we want that cutter up and in like that. Perfect. Would I do a blockbuster early? Like, I don't think this team is, like, anything we would do would constitute being a blockbuster trade. We don't have any blockbuster talents. We're not going to be acquiring any.
For Miami, shortstop, Otto.
I mean, Yuri Perez would be the biggest blockbuster move, and we're not trading him
Ball.
right
Outside.
now. All right, who do I want to pitch the ninth? I got Nardi getting up. Like, why use Pagan in this spot unless the score changes? But then I want him for the ninth anyway. Good slider. All right, Ramirez has a homer and a single.
No, that's a ball. 1-0.
Yo, the number one prospect made his debut down below. 7 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 run for Sellers. So somebody from that first draft class has already debuted then.
Give it to him, Bray. Ball 2. 2-1. Strike 2.
Yeah, I feel like Jorge Soler is just going to be like traded at every trade deadline. Never play in the same city for more than a year.
3 balls. 2 strikes.
Guys like him are so interesting.
Ball 4.
That's a walk to Ramirez. He's reached 3 times. And they're going to bring in a new arm in Dylan Lee. That's a high strikeout rate.
52. Dylan.
The lefty. Oh, we got back-to-back lefties. Do we want to consider a change? We have Hill on the bench. We have Myers on the bench. Yeah, give me Dane Myers.
Number 54, Dean Myers.
He's had more success this season. Good changeup.
No ball. One strike.
Very close. Up the middle. It will not get through. Smooth turn double play. Wow, that was nice.
For the Marlins. Now playing left field. Number 54, Dean Myers.
All right, let's see if Nardi can bounce back. His previous day outing was tough.
Number 43, Andrew Nardi.
And then Pagan will only pitch the ninth if we somehow score 2 runs or more.
No ball. 2 strikes.
We finally hit our first 2 homers of the year, but still, 5 runs when you hit 2 homers isn't a lot. Strike 3 looking.
Up next for the Braves, center fielder.
When I was a kid, I would always want to play like every game of the season. I wouldn't simulate ever. I don't think I ever went through a full year because that is just so many hours. Even when you're a kid and you don't have to worry about much besides your franchise teams.
0-2.
I think one time I made it around 100 games in. Nice. I didn't really play the show a lot as a kid, though. I started off playing All-Star Baseball, and then, like, the MLB, like, 2000, 2001. But the show series, I had kind of stopped playing a lot of baseball around that time. Also, I had a 360 before I had a PS3, so I had to play MLB 2K, which I didn't really play a lot of. My roommate and I did an MVP 05, lost Game 7 of the World Series. Wow. That's brutal. Yeah, that was one of those games, too, I put a lot of time into. Like All-Star Baseball, MLB 2000 something, and then MVP 04 and 05 I loved.
3 balls. 2 strikes.
Nice! What a comeback outing for Andrew Nardi. But now we go to the ninth.
Pitching for the Braves.
Matt Strom is closing games, the lefty. What do you guys think here? Stowers, a strikeout, 2 flyouts. Do we go Derek Hill? Or, I mean, Ruiz does have decent numbers against lefties.
We got time.
Come on, I'm trying to call time again.
No.
I'll leave Stowers in. He's our guy.
Ball. Hop. 2 balls. 1 strike.
Come on, Stowers.
Ball 3.
3-1. Gotta get somebody on. Strike inside, just clipping. I haven't lowered my foul ball slider. In general, there are a lot, but I haven't touched the slider. I'm worried about what it could affect. If there are less fouls, what is there more of? Swings and misses, balls in play that are hits. Like, I don't want to mess with the gameplay balance too much. I'll just deal with it. Ball 4. Stowers is on. Ruiz now to follow. Tying run is Esteury Ruiz. Ruiz to the gap. Let's have a party here in the 9th. He's on his way to second. Stowers is waved. He will score standing, and it's a 1-run game. Xavier Edwards with the tying run at second. Oh, I was wanting that to drop in the zone so bad.
That's the ball. 1-1.
Gotta get Ruiz home now. Ruiz, he's going to go to third. Edwards retired. Great play by Olsen. All right, guys. Late night Lamont Wade. Can he bring home that tying run? Ooh, good fastball. 8 for 12 in his career against him. That's ridiculous. Especially for a left on left.
That's a ball.
Infield in for the Braves. Ball 2. Strike 2 on the outer edge. Here we go, 2-2. Ball 3. Norby on deck. And Wade, that's going to be a tie game at the least. Got it to deep center. A productive out from Wade, and we have tied the game at 7, everybody. What a game. Coming back from 6-0. That was a tough at-bat. Had to lay off some cheese there with 2 strikes. Eventually got a good fastball. This was basically the Astros-Twins game today. Yeah, great. I could stop following that one to do this instead. I missed it yesterday when, like, Altuve was committing errors and left, and they were just scoring a bunch of runs in 1 inning. It was great. Man, he has hung a couple.
Nope. Ball 3. 3 balls. 2 strikes.
Good fastball. All right, so this game continues, and we're going to be throwing out our closer now. It's not a save situation, but we are light on arms right now. It's Emilio Pagan. Trying to force extra innings. Only 2 arms are available right now.
Ball.
3-0 on Riley. Afraid to throw a fastball, but I'll do it and miss. So Pagan misses everything. And that brings up Matt Olson. Splitter, chopped. We need it. And get it, double play. Wow. 1 pitch and a 6-4-3 double play. That was the first splitter I think I threw. All right, let's change the eye level now. There we go. Looping and foul. The 1-2, cold strike 3 on the splitter. Emilio Pagan sends us to the 10th inning. What a game. What a return to franchise streaming here on MLB, too. This has been a fun day. Great speed on. Here's Paul Sewald now. Jesus Sanchez. I like how much speed this team has. Yeah, the streams will stay public and in the playlist, yes.
No, that's a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
3-2 on Sanchez. Upstairs. All right, that's going to bring up Otto Lopez. Very quiet start offensively for him. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we look at a bunt to the right side here. Oh. That was terrible. Maybe not. Don't know how we got a piece of that. Yep, if you miss anything, you can always come back and watch these streams later.
1 and 2.
And then I'll also have highlights from this in the next episode I post.
That's a ball.
150 on the year for Otto Lopez. And now a hit into left field. Norby aggressively waved. He scores. Marlins take the lead here in the 10th. From 6-0 down, we lead this game finally. How much more can we get, though? Oh, that was right down the middle. 2 innings saved for Pagan. I think that was a quick enough inning to give him the 10th. I do want a productive AB here. You really want 2 runs.
That's the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
They scored 5 all the way back in the second.
Ball.
And it was looking like one of those games where it's like, do I just sim to the end and start another one? But part of why I continued was that I knew we didn't have a home run hit this year, and I wanted to hit our first homer. I didn't want to simulate and have it hit there. Plus, at 6-0, I knew it wasn't over. Dropped in right. And the run is... No! How'd he get that tag applied? What a play. He hit the ankle? Unless he just hit the ankle, man. Who made that throw? That's Ronald Acuna in right. Yeah, that's a heck of a throw. So, where's the contact then? Oh, wow. So, here his wrist begins to clip the ankle. Sorry, the zoom is disorienting. If you're saying that's when he makes contact, then we're talking like the oven mitt is just an inch off the plate. That is unbelievable. He got the ankle. High fly deep down the left field line. Not only is it foul,
Foul ball.
but it's not going to be caught either. You never know what you're going to see in the show. That's why I love playing these games. It's just always something. If I sit down and play 3 games, something crazy is going to happen more than likely.
2-2.
In this case, it's 2 games and a couple player locks. That could score him. Oh, it just drops. We're going home now, and thankfully that throw went to the cut. So it's going to be a bloop single for Dane Myers. In a roundabout fashion, we are going to get our second run of the inning. And here was their scheduled starter today, IRL, but... Oh, wow. They are actually now putting in starters. He's actually a part of their rotation, I'm pretty sure now. Come on, Stowers. Good pitch. This is our 4th multi-run inning.
1-2.
We have scored in 5 of 6 innings.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Did you guys even remember that Spencer Strider started this game? Stowers goes the other way. That'll be another run. Stowers to second. It's a 10-7 game. This is insane. And Stowers just, he had a 2-for-3 game in the previous. Now goes Oppo. Ruiz, base hit! Empty the bases. It's 12-7. At one point, they led by 5. Now we lead by 5.
Ball 1.
Second steal for Ruiz. still one out. This is one of the wildest games I've been a part of. This is my biggest comeback ever. I mean, 6-0. Have I ever done better than that? Obviously not in this series. It's too young, but thinking back to some of the past, maybe a 7's in there. But not many. I love the way we're hitting. This is fun. Ah, popped up. I can't get a hit literally every time. Darn. Yeah, we've hit around in this inning. Norby? Or have we? Because I thought it was Norby on second when we got this inning underway. Maybe we haven't hit around and we've just been really efficient at getting everybody in. So Pagan entered. It wasn't a save situation because we were tied. Then we take the lead. But even if it were even if he were fresh, it still wouldn't be a save situation because now the lead is too big. So now he's going to be in this game. It is not a save situation for multiple reasons at different points. Lamont Wade, a big part of this with that sac fly earlier. And now it looks like the Braves will have a chance to hit again. And we still have to close this game out. But it's the bottom of the Braves order and they're down 5. Yeah, it was never a save. But I'm saying it's like, even if you were like, it'd be,
One ball, one strike.
trying to word this right, but it wasn't a save because we were tied.
No, that's a ball.
But even if he had just come into the game now, our lead's too big. But what about the multi-inning save? Because we never led the first time around there. What's the multi-inning rule? Is it 3 innings it's a save no matter what? As long as you held a lead. Game audio screwed up again? That's kind of strange that keeps doing that. I'm going to reset it again. At least it's an easy fix, right?
Thank you, mate.
All right. How much further does this journey go? I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was that interesting and worth saying and explaining 3 times, but I said it. I got it out there. I got that off my chest, thankfully. A scorched line drive to Ruiz in center, and now Prado tries to extend the game.
Hey! 0-1.
Pagan has thrown a lot of pitches now. We're sitting on 21. Got to empty the tank. 1-2. Got him on a splitter for strike 3. And it flips the lineup with 1 out to go. And you really don't want to see Hampson extend the game and have to deal with the better bats on this team.
Ball, low.
Good cutter. My favorite franchise I've ever done.
Ball, high.
Man. Broncos franchise was pretty incredible. A's franchise was special. Browns franchise, of course. 3-2. Runners will leave. And Hampson waves. Ramirez to first, and the Marlins win. They moved to 3-2 on the season. They clubbed their first 2 homers of the year, and they erase a 6-0 deficit in an unforgettable comeback. What a game. I mean, I'm coming on here just to get some more games played in this series. You never know what type of games they're going to be, of course, but to get one like this, that is special. Can't wait to show the highlights from it in the next episode I post, which could be tomorrow if I am able to get it out fast enough. But yeah, I'm excited to see year 2 and more games with this fun team. If you guys enjoyed the stream, I would definitely be interested in doing more of these to get more games in, to check on more prospects. Agustin Ramirez, 3 for 4. Esteury Ruiz, 3 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs and 2 stolen bases. That was amazing. What do they show here for the highlight reel? That would have been the sac fly in the 9th. Oh yeah, we had a couple big double plays turned. That's Lopez. This play was nuts. Yeah, I can't wait to have that one be part of the next episode. You know, I want those videos to always be action-packed, and doing these streams is also a way to, like, really make sure there's a lot in there. It's nice to be able to give you guys a lot for your time in these videos, of course. Yeah, Ramirez and that home run, that was a great way to get things started. I really didn't think we were going to pull off the comeback, though. Do you get PPI for the catcher? For Ramirez, that's a good question. I should check. Because that is really important if it does work out that way. What else we got here? The Norby one. Let me check that one out. We'll be wrapping up here once I get back to the main screen. But in case I want to use any of these for a thumbnail, I want to get a couple shots. Yeah, I'm thinking that Norby and Ramirez are 2 guys that, you know, I expect them to be a part of our long-term build. And then we really got to make that our first-round pick this year count, too. Picking at number 1. I'm hoping it's our only time picking that high. But realistically, I know that there could be a couple. I like that. I spent like 30 hours this weekend editing a roster for MLB based on Baseball Savant Analytics to determine their ratings. Much more realistic strikeout numbers. So, were you just like treating that slider like it needs to go higher than normal? Because like K per 9 in general seems to be like, it's not really high, generally speaking, for anybody. Like, what is Aaron Nola here? 61. At 61, you're not going to strike many guys out. What about Freddie Peralta? They have him as 75. Can still get close to double digit, but I don't think that's nearly high enough the way it's used in game. And that's a cool idea to base it off of Savant and those that data. I think that's probably how they would be doing a lot of the ratings, but clearly they have some different trends. And I think one thing that these companies do a lot too is really look at the overall number and know they want like certain guys in certain spots. Crochet at 79. Like the higher end of that rating is just not explored. Scooble 73. Still getting a 10 so far this year, but 2025, 7.8. Probably my biggest complaint with the simulated stuff and just how those ratings work is lack of strikeouts. 89 here has got to be one of the higher ones in game. And for Strider last year, did have a 10.5, but even that is like 20, 30% under his career average. Most players have way too high ratings for plate vision, which determines how much you strike out. Yeah, I could see there being a lot of things, and how they interact together determines that. That's a good point, and it's hard without seeing under the hood how some of those things interact with each other, or to do the experimenting. Then you could have a better read on things. That's pretty cool, though. I suppose with the name Brave Analytics, you are in tune with the numbers and statistical side of the game. All right, so far this year, Agustin Ramirez leads us in hits. Xavier Edwards, Jesus Sanchez each have 6, 5 for Connor Norby. For that PPI we talked about, yep, sure enough, Agustin Ramirez is on that list. So if he were to win, say, Rookie of the Year, we would be getting an extra compensatory round, or like the bonus selections in the first, like 30 to 39 overall or whatever. So if he could help us out in our rebuild, that would be excellent. Because he should still have his rookie status. What game do I prefer playing more, The Show or CFB? Man, you're really making me pick one. I mean, I probably would say The Show, just because of the consistency in terms of, like, not each game playing the same way, but there are things in CFB where I know, like, all right, the ratings might not be being represented well right now, or this update came out and now the game is imbalanced in this area. I think dealing with, like, updates and stuff and, like, the tug of war with certain ratings there when I'm having to do that would give the edge to MLB, because I can just play the game day one no sliders, and just get good realistic games. And sure, it could be better in some areas, like the strikeout rate we just talked about a lot. But I just like the fact that there is a game out of the box that plays the way I want it to play. But that is going to do it for today, everybody. A few more hours of Marlins content here for you. And these games will be part of the next episode. Those were 2 bangers. I mean, that second game was special. That comeback and then how we wrap it up. I will look forward to doing this again with you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And, I almost forgot. I am posting Bulls Dynasty right now. I'll link it to you. I won't make you work very hard to move on to my next piece of content here. So, thank you all for your time and for all the new subscribers, members, super chats. Good night, everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next video.